Well, it was a hard practice, and, we had a couple guys go down. You're going to have that in spring football. I think we're taking steps to becoming more of a physical football team, and that's part of spring ball as well. Some of the things that I did notice, I thought some of our young offensive linemen are taking a step forward. The other thing I saw, Aiden Everhart, I'm going to watch the tape, but he made a couple big-time plays out there. I told him I've been watching him on the NFL Network and everything else. If he's coming out for the draft, he showed up today. But it's good to see, the guys competed here, and he's making some plays. And I thought we were throwing the ball. I thought Tyler threw the ball better today. And we'll watch the tape tomorrow, but I was encouraged. So questions.
Craig, you mentioned some of the young offensive linemen. Who are some guys that are stepping up and are anything getting solidified as far as where they might play?
Nothing's getting solidified yet, but I thought Rudy Stouffer did some good things today. He's a backup tackle. Keegan Krieger is still making strides at center, but there's more strides he needs to make. Alonzo Velasquez had a better day today than he did the other day, and so those are some of the guys that I saw. But like I said, I always got to be cautious. Sometimes I tell them the eye in the sky don't lie, and we'll take a look at the tape.
Coach, with a handful of receivers out this spring, is it tough at all to evaluate the quarterbacks, or is it tough for the quarterbacks maybe not having the same guys that they're going to have out there in the fall?
Well, a passing game comes into timing and tempo so much, but sometimes it just comes down to finding a way to make some plays. We're disappointed, like Jared Scott is going to have surgery. He'll miss probably the rest of spring, but it does give some other players some opportunity. Vontae Cox made a couple nice plays, Dante Crow. So it's those guys' time for opportunity to shine.
What are you seeing out of your quarterbacks here, 4 practices in?
A little bit of a mixed bag, reading things. I think both Nick and Tyler are throwing the ball better with more authority. I think there was a couple throws I thought Tyler threw today that were really encouraging. I mean, some long throws, some over routes, and to where you got to not only just have some understand where to put the ball, but be able to drill it and throw it on a rope, pretty long throws, and I thought he did that, so we were encouraged about that.
You mentioned, the 2 young corners in Colvin and Blankenbaker that you have high hopes and aspirations.
Yeah,
Again, it's early, but what have you seen so far early in spring? Are you liking what you're seeing from those?
Yeah, we are. Good movement. We don't have a lot of coverage in yet, that's planned. They do have athleticism. They have ability to come out of their break, and each year we keep on getting better. Now, it'll be interesting once we do some live scrimmaging, how they tackle, but we're encouraged so far. And, I think the move with Tyler inside to nickel has been outstanding. I think he's got a bright future there.
I know we talked some about Andrew Winger, just him being a senior this year, but does his role change with him, just being a senior in terms of his leadership on this team?
Dewey's one of those guys that has a hard edge, and he practices and he plays that way. And certainly the guys understand his competitive nature, and that has a big, I guess, component on how we play on defense. He's picked up, I don't know, about 10 pounds. He's a lot stronger. He's carrying his weight really well. He was really physical today, and it's encouraging to see him coming out. And he's an established player that's recognized around the country, and yet he's practicing like he's a hungry freshman.
I've seen that too from Logan Wilson. I mean, again, your middle linebacker has had 2 really good years, but are you seeing the same kind of things from him as well?
Yeah, we're really pleased, Robert, particularly pleased with the leadership on defense. You have a lot of experienced players. Now, we have some experienced players who are out, but those guys that you just mentioned, there's no, have an attitude like we've arrived and we don't have to practice hard. They're setting a great example, and they're getting better. And, they're guys who are proven players, but they're not resting on their laurels.
What about the depth at linebacker? How's that kind of coming along? Because I know that was a goal coming into spring.
We feel like some guys are coming around. We've taken a hard look at Va. I think he understands. He's certainly further along. Adam Pittlepole is playing. Pittlepole is what I say. Well, how you always correct me on that. He's really doing a nice job too. And so, it's going to take more than just the guys I mentioned earlier that are the starters. And, you go through a tough schedule like we're going to play next year. There's going to be injuries that we're going to be encountered with, and so that building that depth is going to be important.
Anyone else? I know you talked to us before. Anyone else new injury-wise that happened in practice?
Yeah, there was about 5. I mean, it would look like a mass unit out there, so we're disappointed, Robert. Some of that comes with it's a byproduct of going out there and playing physical. But I think Kellen Overstreet went down today. If he's got something with his shoulder, I mean, there was a boatload of guys that went down. So I want to say about 4 guys. So we'll get an injury report tomorrow, see where we're at for Thursday's practice. As you can tell, my voice is kind of gone. I was pretty in tune today.